I'm going to ask Tony if you would do us the honor. If you would state standing for the pledge of allegiance afterwards, please. And just be aware you're all being recorded. We are all being recorded.
Let us pray. Father, we're glad to be recorded praising you for a wonderful day today. And we're just grateful for that. And we can sense spring and renewal around us. And it's spectacular when it's warm and wonderful. Lord, tonight in this meeting, there's some renewal and wonder that comes with a city that is coming back to life in a big way. And we just ask you to give this council and mayor your wisdom and your favor in making wise decisions about what's before them tonight and wise instructions about what to do in the future. Lord, we just ask you to bless this place, all those who work at Walnut Grove, who provide the wonderful services that this city provides and makes us a spectacular place. We ask you to bless them. Lord, for our citizens, we ask you to bless each one that they can participate and be in wonder of a place that has a great future. And for that great future, Lord, we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to go ahead and start off with our roll call. The full council is in attendance tonight, as most evenings, you guys are. Thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and go down to agenda approval, and I'm going to ask, is there a motion on the agenda?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the agenda, please raise your hands. And it is unanimous. Come on in. We'll go on to the consent agenda. And is there a motion on the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes,
Okay, Linda?
I'd like to remove the financial report from the consent agenda and table it to the next council meeting.
Is there any other discussion?
There's a couple of lines that need to be corrected. And one of them's been hanging out for a while and still, we haven't been able to fix it. So we need to not approve it until we can get this corrected.
We're not approving these financials, correct? We are only accepting that we received a
That's
copy.
not true.
Clarification. So Mr. Powell, could you clarify that for us, please?
Well, council can do as it pleases with things, but in a consent agenda, the norm is if there is an objection, then that item comes off the consent agenda. And so it gets on the debate. There is no debate during consent agenda. And then with regard to the financial information, it is receipt of the report that, I mean, I don't think you have enough information to say every transaction is blessed. You know, you're just getting the financial, you're receiving the financial information. If you see things in there that obviously you want to be changed about the financial report, then certainly you can ask for that.
So I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the financials removed.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll re-second that.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Financials will come out. We will do our best to get those numbers updated for you, okay? Thank you. Sure. We're going to go ahead and go on to the committee reports. Is there anything from the DDA?
We have nothing to report at this time here. Thank you.
Okay. The Planning and Zoning Commission. Joe, do you have anything for us tonight?
I do. I'll be very brief. I know there's a lot going on, but I didn't get a chance to get this to the clerk ahead of time. And this is the administrator report. And essentially, the only really new item on there is that city is in receipt of a variance application from SCB Construction for the this report for the some variants for some of the features on the building, Church of the Grove. And you and I will be meeting, and the clerk and I will be meeting next Monday to set the hearing dates and get the advertisement put together.
Okay.
Other than that, you've got, I would think that the next meeting or so, you will probably see Stonehaven subdivisions, plan and amenity area, exteriors for your review. That was I believe that was, the Ned's intent. And also, Mike's Tire Depot, the new site out at Timmy's, I've received the set of plans electronically. I don't know if we've gotten a paper set here.
We haven't yet.
Okay. Well, I was asked them to drop off a set for your records.
Okay.
So we're gonna proceed in reviewing that and then go from there. But I had, he's had somebody send over the drawings so we could kind of go ahead and get going. But I don't like getting stuff without y'all knowing about it.
Yeah.
And then other active items, I rode around a little bit today, got here early, kind of saw some things, some progress has been making on a couple of sites, but, right now we're just sort of, including the biggest one being, we met Monday and had pre-construction on benchmarks grading.
Mhm.
And I know Monday, we're gonna talk about some estimates on that. So things are moving along.
Okay.
Unless there's no questions, that's my report.
I have a question. The gas station
Yes.
has sat still for a while. Do we know what's going on with that or?
I don't know, I haven't talked to anybody related to that anytime soon. I did notice a bunch of equipment out there today, and they have been working on the road. So I think when I come up Monday, we can try to pull their permit and see if they're still active.
Permit is still active.
So as long as they're working on it, it's considered active. And it looks like there was a number of, like service trucks there working, they were off. And somebody had been there recently and seeded, strawed the ditch, so I think they're back on. I'm just.
I didn't go by there today.
Well, too, and I just happened to notice that. I know things will sit sometimes because of lots of reasons, but it would be better to get it stabilized if they're not gonna do it, so it doesn't look as ugly. So if that becomes an issue, talk to Alexis at the Bureau to go out there.
Alexa's been
I'm
active.
sure she's been talking to them. That's probably why it got
It was.
seeded, because
Yeah.
you don't want it sitting there, the dirt exposed.
Mhm.
So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Okay, we are gonna go on down to the library report with Ms. Dana Seeger. Hi, Dana.
Hi, it's good to see everybody.
Welcome.
It was great to see you all at the Envision meeting. It was great to see most of you at the library in the past week. Thanks for the book donations, the pantry donations, for bringing your children, I think 3 times in 1 week.
Thank
Thank you for helping with the Master Garden.
Absolutely.
The program we had yesterday was a big success. We had
Pleasure.
20 people, I think, attend the Master Gardener presentation, which I thought they did a wonderful job.
Yes.
Also, they brought a new shipment of seeds for us at the library, so that has been fabulous. We have a seed library. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we were giving out 1 packet of seeds per visit to every patron. Now they said that we could give out 3 packets of seeds per patron per visit. So we're going through seeds like crazy, and then we're packaging them, which is fabulous. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see, I've been planning, spring break is planned and all of summer is planned. So we're planned all the way through for the most part, except for some minor details on some minor programs, but all the big stuff is planned through the end of July. And so I want to thank our community and thank everybody for supporting our programs, because we're doubling our programs this summer, which is amazing that we can do that. And that's what I wanted to focus on tonight. I wanted to shift gears a little bit, and part of the success of the library is because of the community involvement. Our food pantry runs itself now, so I don't have to solicit for donations for it. It just fills in and we restock it as people donate items. So on a slow day, 2 people will use the pantry on a slow day. On a busy day, we'll have 14 people that use the pantry. So that gives you an idea of just how much of a machine it is. And the fact that it's pretty much running self-sufficiently is amazing. And that's directly attributed to this community. So I'm really happy about that. Which also brings me to our volunteers. I had 8 volunteers last month. All of our volunteers are vetted, which means they have to have a background check. Except for our minors, and at this time, I only have 1 beta student who's getting 10 hours for beta club for service hours. But outside of minors, we don't do community service at the library because sometimes there's a conflict between the background check and community service. So I do refer people to Humane Society and to Fish if they need community service hours and they are not a minor. What else? Oh, for the first time ever, Youth Middle School donated 20 boxes of books to the library that they needed from their collection. They were amazing books. We got rid of almost all of them in less than 2 weeks because we had a bag of books for a $1 sale. So we're down to less than 1 cart of books left. And people came in and they said, why aren't you refilling the cart? And I said, because we're out of books. And they're like, they're all gone already. And I was like, yes. So that was a great little fundraiser that we did. And I'm super excited that Youth Middle School thought of us. And anytime they have more books, we would love to have them because they are wonderful. They were great books. Good. Let's see. Oh, Walnut Grove Elementary School, I've been there, voting on the STEM contest that they had, which was phenomenal. They had almost 70 entries into the STEM contest, and it was so exciting to meet with the other judges and select the winners. So those families will be notified. I'll be there on Tuesday night for STEM night, and the families and the students will be notified. And that's just been an amazing program. Also, all the students that come to STEM night on Tuesday will get a free STEM book from the library as well. So again, that's because of the Girl Scout, who you all know, who started our little free library. Those are books that she donated to the library, and I can give them right back to the Walnut Grove Elementary School students, and they're all age appropriate. Most of them are around 3rd grade content, so which will look great. I think that's it. But I just want to say it really does take a village. And I know sometimes people give me a lot of credit, but it really is the community that is making our library so successful. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Does anybody have any questions for me?
When's the Master Gardeners coming back?
Fall. Yeah, so they said summer is not a great time to do packs. And I guess once they do their plant sale, which is coming up in April, I think they take a little break from, and then they'll start back in fall. So I'm hoping to have them come back August, September, and October.
That would be awesome.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to public comment. I'm going to go ahead and share because we have some new faces here. Public comment is the time where you can come up, let us know your name and your address. And the comment that you make or suggestion or the request that you make is recorded. It is in the minutes. And it is not a time for us to have a conversation with you, but it's a time for you to share with us a need you see in the community, a suggestion, if you have it, something you may need help with. And this would be a good time if anybody would like to come up. And now's the time to talk. So anybody who would like to come up and talk about anything?
I just want to give everybody a chance.
If you would slowly say your name and your address, please, and we'll write it down.
Wade Luffy, 2230 Emerald Drive. Okay.
What was your last name?
Luffy,
How do you spell that?
Luetthi.
Okay, thank you.
Probably wouldn't have came, Rachel, if you had told me I'd be standing here at this podium, looking at a bunch of important people.
We're just citizens just like you.
While I was sitting there, I decided that the first thing that I actually wanted to say is thank you guys for your time of service. I'm 36. This is my first home that I've owned. I've been a father for 7 years. I've been in my career for about 10. I was in the Marine Corps prior to that, a bunch of odd jobs. And I keep joking with my wife that I feel like I'm just now growing up. And now that I'm standing here thinking about you all, who probably aren't raking in big bucks to do this job, because I'm sure you have jobs outside of this as well. Thank you guys for taking your time to do this. And I understand, like I said, it's not a conversation, but I just want to say that. My concern is speed bumps in Enrolled Cove. I have 2 children. We also see at least 10 to 15 children running around that neighborhood at any given time. I in particular live on the hill. And for whatever reason, that seems to be, I know the straightaway up front is quite a fun place for the drag stars in our neighborhood. But that hill seems to be that way as well. And I was actually talking with Rachel. She made a good point. I do think part of the reason is they're accelerating up to that hill point, and then they're just not paying attention and braking. They just keep kind of going whatever speed they're carrying. Then as you go down the hill, carries a little more speed. It seems like maybe this concern has come up a few times, and there's been whatever reasons that I don't know about because I just moved here. Maybe why it hasn't happened. I think another good suggestion in that is stop signs. If we can't get one, maybe the other. I posted this recently on our community Facebook. All the time when I pull into my driveway, I whip out my car and I back into it so that I could leave quickly. I know we all have weird things to say about people who back into spots, but I'm one of those people. Anyway, somebody, before I even make that move, I make sure that the top of the hill is clear, because if anybody's not paying attention, they might not have enough time to slow down before they get to me. So I always wait till it's clear and then I do it. The other day, I was doing it, it was all clear, and I'm moving into that position slowly, so I point towards my neighbor's house to do it, and almost instantly, as I finish that move, this gray SUV and this young woman is slamming on her brakes, about to hit me, and then I finish what I'm doing, she honks at me. But she is one of at least 6 cars that I see regularly, because I'm out in my yard doing fun business all the time, that speeds down that road, and none of them seem to have any regard for anything else on that road. So if it could be considered, I'd be grateful.
What's your street again?
Emerald Drive.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking into that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Please, could you say your name and your address, please?
Brenda Ramsey, 2221 Emerald Drive.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for everything you do. I'd like to expand on what Ray was saying. Coming up that hill, we need speed bumps. We need at least 3. We need one coming up there, up the road, one coming down, because it is dangerous getting out of the driveway. When you have to speed to get out of your driveway, I just pull in, but I got a gun to get out of there. I mean, you can watch and try to people come. We've got 5 people that I'm notified. One's a big truck, and my next door neighbor, Miss Margaret, has already talked to him several times about speeding. He just looks at her. She stopped and flagged him down and said, there's children here, you need to slow down. He just looks at her. And he does it every time, but no regard, because someone's gonna get hit. Like yesterday, there was a lady walking in the neighborhood. She had her headsets on, and she wasn't paying attention, and she was coming up that hill, and there was a car coming down, and my son was trying to scream at her, said, somebody needs to stop, but she had to kind of swerve her car around. So it's really getting very dangerous now. Very dangerous out there. So we need something, speed bumps or something. At least 2 of them to come up the hill. Because when they get up the hill, and when they're coming down, they're just flying. So I'm afraid some of the little children, I don't have little children, but I don't want to see a child get hit. I don't want to see that. So if you could think of something to do to help us out, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Brenda.
Am I allowed to say one more thing? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Just on what she said. Within the last 15 days, there's a young girl named Ayla who runs around our neighborhood. My wife was walking her home and she jetted out into the road, which is wrong on her part. But my wife had told me that the situation looked bleak because of how quick the car was going. She said that car barely stopped before it even got to them because of how fast it was moving. And it was, again, just at that point where you come over the hill and go down. What is the
Crystal Court.
Crystal Court, there you go. That's all.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to come up and speak? Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming up. We hear you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and move on to old business. First thing on the agenda for that is our safety coordinator resolution. We discussed it last time. The safety coordinator resolution is appointing our Public Works Manager as the safety coordinator. By doing that, he and his staff will be able to go and get training, important training that they need to help themselves in those positions that they're in. And it will also allow us to be part of a program where they can apply for grants for safety equipment. And so our Public Works Manager has agreed that this is something that is important to him. He will be taking on that role, and we just need to go ahead and have a vote tonight on the resolution to create the coordinator, the public safety coordinator position. And that's it. So I'm going to ask, is there a motion on this tonight?
I make a motion to approve the safety coordinator resolution.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And it's unanimous. Great. Thank you. Brian will be very happy. Our next discussion is the LAS Sewer Base accepting the lowest bid that was presented to us by Joe Walter in student planning. I have shared with all of you the big picture of our financials. And it's a very clear view of where we stand on everything. The amount of money in each account that we have, the amount of LNIC funds that are available, SPLOST funds that are available for both 2019 and 2025. Projects that we put in our budget to complete this year, like the Public Works Building, some improvements here at the park, along with some other items, and any other projects or expenditures that have been approved through the council. So it gives you a very clear picture of where we are, what we can afford, what we can't afford. The LAS bid came in at 4.055 or 05. I'm going to look at my numbers here. It came in at 4 point what? Yeah, 0.55, that's what I thought. 4.055. That's the the cost of the bid. We are in a shortfall of about $690,000. But as you can see from the big picture, there are lots of places we can take it from. Tonight, we are deciding on whether to accept the bid or not. And with that in mind, I'd like to go ahead and ask for a motion on this.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this bid as received from IHC Construction Services LLC in the amount of $4,055,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I do have one question on the financials that you provided, and thank you for those. And well, it's really not on there, and that's why I have the question. Do you have off the top of your head by any chance an idea our monthly expense in the sewage department?
If you had asked me that ahead of time.
I know, and it was something that came to my mind late.
So off the top of my
But I didn't
head,
just early.
I can't give you that number.
Okay. Yes. But our expenses involved our,
Chris Thomas with.
right, which is
Lakeview.
about what $1,100, like somewhere in that ballpark.
Exactly.
And then we have electricity
Mhm.
and water
Water.
and
And
the cable. That's about it, other than the maintenance.
Just sewer head replacement. I don't know how big of sense that
Yeah,
is.
that would be, that would
we
be.
just
big.
bought some.
And I think we have.
it is not a huge expenditure.
But to pre-emerge, and we still have to do that, don't we?
That's done through the Casey with Brian. We already have those chemicals. And he and Casey, the person who does that free of charge,
All right.
are working on that together.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something on that I was missing.
No.
On the amount that we have on a monthly basis for that. Okay.
So tonight we're deciding whether or not to accept the bid. We have a first, we have a second. If there's no more discussion, I will ask all those in favor, please raise your hand. And it's unanimous, so we will move forward with that bid. Okay, thank you. After that, there is no new business tonight. We do have some reports and.
Mayor,
Yeah.
quick question for, just for clarification on the vote. There's a notice of award that was in the bid package.
I have it.
Okay, so you have that. Okay, I want to make, so you have that.
I do.
So we can, I'm get that, a motion to accept the bid, but then authorize you to be able to sign that. I will defer to the attorneys to make sure.
Usually we get a contract signed as part of the process, so I think it'll be, we're gonna be able to do all we do tonight, and then we'll put together a package.
Well, no, I understand that part for, in council, but so we normally send a notice of award to the contractor with the bonds and insurance letter. So,
And then is there a contract after that?
yeah, there is, but, and that's all correct. All that gets sent, the attorneys get a chance to review it,
Okay,
and nothing happens. And there's nothing's, you don't sign anything normally to the pre-construction meeting. I just, but I want to make sure that, I want to be clear that you've got the ability to sign the notice of award and we can send it on out next week.
And you do.
I do.
Okay, that's all I'm asking, just so we don't
Okay.
have to wait another cycle.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, no, that's no problem. Okay, so no new business and reports. Lynn, could you share reports with us? You happen to have the public works report with you? Okay.
I do.
It's okay, I know what's on it. If you would go ahead and start with the clerk's report, and we will go ahead and move forward.
Okay, we did not have any pavilion rentals this month. And state patrol, we had 5 tickets in Walton County, it's 6. I'm excited to tell y'all about the ball field rentals. In January, it was rented 11 times. And then in February, it doubled for 22 times. And there was, I think there was even more than 22 in March. I mean, it's really going well. Ball field run outside. And the operating account funds in it is $794,542.79. The sewer account, $11,883.74. SLOST is $1,188,366.98. The money market, $1,486,555.33. DDA account, $90,253.90. And then the new sewer money market account, $975,491.95.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
$975. I said 900. Let me start. $975,491.95. The LES sewer plant expansion, $200,088. And then these SPOS 2025 is $19,012.73.
25 spots that started coming in already. That's great. Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor, is that still coming in at about the same rate it's been coming in over the last year?
The news blog? The first one only came in at the 19th. So it usually ramps up. Hopefully that will happen.
Yeah, there'll be more spending soon.
So for the Public Works Department, the sewer plant, there's been a few repairs to sprinkler heads and a few ball valves, and the waters are being kept low, along with some of the rain activity that's coming in. At the city park, take a look around, especially over this way and with the new swings. All the gutters at the municipal building have been cleaned out, rotten boards on picnic tables have been replaced and they've been repainted. Replaced swings on the playground, I think they put up 5 new swings, commercial grade swings. Cleaned out the old Public Works building, we've been looking for that to happen for some time, because somebody has a brilliant idea of converting that into possibly hitting cages. And then we've opened the bathrooms both at the pavilion and down at the ball field for the season. Around the city, all of the signs have been documented so that we can get that into our iWorks program, so that we're better able to direct public works on where they need to go do jobs, or if the sign is in bad shape. We'll be replacing some signs. Some of them have gone past their good years. All the crosswalk signs are in working order. New lawnmower was purchased and they are very grateful. And we are using a new preventative maintenance plan monthly where the guys are going out to all the facilities and making sure the buildings are all in good shape. Our public works manager and one of the employees will be going to a safety training meeting on March 18th for hazardous waste removal. And our other public works employee will be staying behind in case of any emergencies or things that are happening within the city. And that's it for the guys. They're doing a great job. And if you look around, it looks really good. What else? My report. It has been a busy 2 weeks, actually 16 months. The highlight was, did I talk about this when I went over to the elementary school and did some reading? During Dr. Seuss week, I went over to the elementary school and did some reading to 3 classrooms. Really enjoyed that. Reminded me of my days when I did a lot of substitute teaching. But the beautiful thing was I got to go in, interact with the kids, read a couple of books, and then move on to the next classroom. So it was wonderful. I'm going to be doing it again. It's part of the mayor's reading program, and I'm going to talk to Dana as soon as possible to get over to the library and also do some reading over there too. So that's the highlight. We've got a lot of great things happening in the city. There are some even greater things coming up soon. Lots of activity, but after 14, 16 months, with having some of the really great new people in place, I feel like we are on the downward slope. Things are getting a little bit easier. Processes are in place. Projects are moving along. And it's just a real exciting time to be in the city and in the position that we're all in. And we're all very grateful for it also. So really, that's all that I have for y'all. At this point, for the town hall, this is an opportunity for anybody to make any kind of comment that you like. It usually is not recorded, but we keep it going because we think everything everybody says is important. So if anybody has any just comments or questions or suggestions or whatever you want, now's the time. If not, that's fine too. That's okay.
And this is the time you can get feedback from us.
And we can't talk back during this time. Nothing? Okay.
I would like to say something because of the comments earlier, for Emerald Cove. If I'm not mistaken, and they may or may not be aware of this, the reason I wanted to bring it up is that like the road in Emerald Cove, I appreciate wanting to find a way to address the issues, because we have the same issue in my neighborhood to a degree, but that area is policed differently than some other areas of town through the sheriff's department. Is that correct? I mean, for instance, they can't sit out there and give speeding tickets in Emerald Cove to try to slow that down.
That's what we've been told.
Right. So, and I'm not sure why that is. But I just wanted to point that out so that if neighbors are asking, that's part of the reason you don't see that sort of sheriff's department presence in there to help with that issue.
That is on my list of things to talk to
Just
sheriff.
if it can be changed.
This is not a new issue, and it's not just happening in Emerald Cove. And as time goes on and people pay less attention and have less respect for road signs and for their neighbors and others, it's an issue that comes up more and more and more. I used to be the president of the HOA in Emerald Cove, And this was an issue I brought to council when I was not on it. So it's been going on for quite some time. And so when I told you before that we hear you, we will go ahead and talk some more about it. I've already been asked to add it to the next work session to see if we can come up with some solutions. So if you're able to come to the next work session meeting, that would be great. If the more people you have, the more support for this, the better off, the discussion is.
Of course.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to add, I also live in Emerald Cove. Well, recently moved out actually, but, I lived on that straight away, so I know exactly what you're talking about too.
We have Lisa with here. Excellent.
And this really is something we can invite multiple neighbors to and neighborhoods to have this kind of a discussion. And if this is an ongoing problem for all neighborhoods, and this is something that needs to be a citywide ordinance or resolution or whatever the case may be, new law, then that's something that we can discuss. Because if it's a prevalent problem, then we need to figure out ways to make it either stop or make it safer for our citizens.
Our friends over at Dow Farms, right, same issue. Every time I talk to y'all, y'all tell me about it.
Yeah.
People are just really ice. So with the ice that we had, one car in particular on my street, on Sandy Creek, he whoops it, and I'm on the corner, and we should have a 4-way, and we only have 2-way stop sign. And when I tell you he sped, and he almost swerved into a house. And then he realized at the time, oh wait, there's ice on the ground. And then he went into his driveway. He's actually been brought up on our community page. And then with the building, building up the community, more issues, as you all know. It's coming, we're gonna get more, just because we're open right there on 138, where all the main traffic is.
They're bad about cutting through from 138 to bypass that red light.
So I just wonder if there's, in the next work section, if there's any plans on traffic diversion with all of the building. To keep our community safe.
I talked to our code enforcement officer and he experienced this over in Tequila and his way to resolve it, the first step that they took was putting in more stop signs. If it was a 2-way stop, they made it a 3-way or a 4-way. There's different spots in Emerald Cove. I'm familiar with Emerald Cove more than any other neighborhood, where if you put in stop signs, you do, stop. I know there are some places like that in the enclave. I've never understood why in some areas there's no stop sign.
I'm right in the middle, right smack dab on the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll go ahead and we'll have this discussion. We'll go ahead and bring in some maps. If there are other concerns of other citizens in your neighborhood, we'll make sure Magnolia Springs and Cambridge Chase is also aware of this. If people on Park Street are concerned about it, if they're continuing to have problems. At a dinner we had the other night with all of the other municipalities, when I was giving my report, I just came out of somewhere. I said, we have to work on the safety of our citizens on the roadways. People are driving without concern for each other.
Yes.
And it's causing huge accidents, many deaths, and these are all preventable things. If people would just stay off their phone, leave their house a few minutes earlier and stop being in such a rush. Slow it down a little bit. You have to have concern for one another. And another mayor jumped on that too. So it's something that he and I are going to be working with. Well, I'm sure council will be working on it too. But we can start at home.
Yeah.
So if you guys would come to the next work session, bring more neighbors.
Okay.
Have them send us emails. Let us know how they're feeling about this type of thing. We need to do it based on what the citizens and the community feels. And the more voices we hear, the more we know that this is really an issue that a lot of people have an issue with and something we can take care of. Okay?
Okay. And then would it be possible to just add one, maybe all of you all to our community page, because it's a lot posted in there. Like you just scroll through and you need to see.
Yeah.
And that would be helpful to me, even if it's not brought up. You're like, wait a minute, I saw this issue.
Not a bad idea. You guys have the ability to see those pages.
Yeah, I'm on Emerald Coves right now. Because I'm a resident.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for coming tonight, guys.
We don't have an HOA, so I don't have access to those pages to know what you're experiencing, so call me or email.
I'll send you screenshots, David.
Our page isn't even for HOA, and matter of fact, do you have a date, know when our subdivision will be done?
We're expecting to hear about that any day now. That's something that Mr. Walter and I are meeting
Okay,
on Monday before it's turned over to us.
okay,
We need to do some inspections. So that's something we'll be talking about on Monday.
okay, yes.
Yep.
So we can get everything.
Looking forward to having your streets because then we get more LMIC funds.
Yes,
So, and because we want to bring your government into.
yeah, and there's still a few things that need to be done, that's promised that haven't happened, so. Yeah, we're still waiting.
I have your list. That's that. Is there anything else from anybody else? This is quite a crew here tonight. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and finish off the night with some council comments, and I'm gonna start with Linda tonight.
Oh, goodness. I get to talk. But I think it was last month, we got the letters from the students down at Walnut Grove Elementary about their green incentive. And the letters that I got from the third graders down there, they were asking me not to use straws anymore, plastic straws. And that's their incentive to make Walnut Grove green again. So I agreed not to use a plastic straw. And there's a hashtag, we can upload pictures. So I'm challenging Walnut Grove to put away those plastic straws. Let's save the environment and support our little third graders.
Well, Linda, I'm gonna piggyback right on you. So it's hashtag going green in the Grove.
Anytime you see something positive in our community, it is encouraging. It makes me hopeful for the future. And especially since I happen to have two third graders, my twins, Ruby and Abe. We decided to partner as a city with Keep Walton Beautiful and Southern Sanitation and Walnut Grove Elementary School for hashtag Going Green in the Grove. We will be presenting this year's first annual, not the last, first annual Recycling Day, citywide Recycling Day. And you'll be seeing more about that on social media, on the Facebook pages of all the council members of the city and from the elementary school. So we are very pleased to do that. And we're going to do that on Earth Day 2025, so April 22nd. At City Hall, we will be collecting recyclables throughout the city. And even if you're on the periphery of the city, if you're not a resident, please come by and drop your stuff off. And we'll have a list of things that we will take. Lastly, I've heard if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. So let's do that.
That's nice. Maxine.
I really don't have any comments.
Okay. All right.
Had a good meeting.
That's a great meeting. Huh? All right.
I want to thank Rachel for that initiative for our third graders and the elementary school. That is so special. They wrote those letters and she was doing with it. Like she just had a good idea. It was fantastic. I received letters asking me to reach out to whoever's in charge of them having styrofoam trays. And they wanted to use their reusable plastic trays. I wrote a letter and sent a picture of my letters I received to the Board of Education. I didn't get a response. From Karen Brown, she responded and said, "Thank you for sending this." But today I was at a full council meeting at elementary school, and during our lunch period, they were using plastic trays, like they're reusable plastic trays. So I was like, "That's very cool."
That's great.
They are making a difference, and that's exciting. I think the speed bumps throughout the community, maybe, I hate speed bumps. I do not like speed bumps.
That's why.
But if they're needed, then so be it. You gotta do something to slow some people down and keep our kids safe. That's the main thing. And then I want to be sure to invite, there's a lot of faces in here I have not seen at Envision Walnut Grove. We have one more Envision Walnut Grove meeting, which is March.
April 4th.
April 4th. It's on my calendar. So please come out. They have been so good. I've never seen a community get their citizens this involved, and everyone's voice is heard. Everybody's opinion is heard. It is so nice, and it really brings the community together. And so please come.
Where's that at?
It'll be at Church at the Grove.
And I will add, go to the website, take the survey. We're challenging Walnut Grove. She said the other night, to even get 300 people to survey in a large city was unheard of.
Mhm.
So we would like to get somewhere near that and to show these big cities that we got it going on in Walnut Grove.
The website, you can find it on our city website. We have it on the homepage. The link, you can just click and go to it, or you can go there yourself. Envision-walnut-grove.com.
And there's lots of information up there, I think, that she's putting up about what's happened at the other two planning sessions that you can review. Plus, we have the videos of those planning sessions. They're not perfect because we can hear the people in the audience, but the lady that is handling everything does a good job of kind of repeating the questions so that you can hear on the video what's happening. So you could review those before you come to the next meeting.
And if you get a chance, go by the library, come by City Hall and fill out this survey. It's asking you, what do you want to see? What kind of architectural style do you want to see? What kind of housing do you want to see? What kind of shops do you want to see? What's the look that you're looking for? Once you fill this out over at the library or City Hall, you just leave it with us or leave it with the library. We'll get it back and we will get all of the information compiled and it will be presented at the next meeting, okay? So it's very important that we get your input on that. I think that's all we have for now. Do you have anything else? No, you're good? Everybody else good? Okay. 47 minutes. Very good.
Adjourn.
I think is there a motion to adjourn? Yeah, there is. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you for coming, guys.